Thank you for watching another iTRAK tutorial video. Today I'm going to be talking about difference between landmarks and geofences and how they're created. For other tutorial videos, head on to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/iTRAK Corporation. Alright, so although landmarks and geofences are both borders that surround a specific geographic location, they both serve different functions. Landmarks are created so users can generate reports telling them when their vehicles enter and leave these geographic locations. And geofences are created so users can receive real-time email alerts notifying them when vehicles enter or leave these locations. Let's go through how they're set up. So if you go to our webpage at iTRAK.com and click on the iTRAK Fleet Executive link, it's our mapping software, and log in with your fleet name, username, and password. This will get you logged in to iTRAK Fleet Executive. And before you start creating your landmarks or geofences, you need to get the area being shown on the map that you want to create the landmark or geofence for. So you can either, if you know where that area is, you can find it on the map as I'm doing here. Or if you have the address, you can type that address in the find field here, click find, and get to that location a little quicker. So since this area, Schaumburg Golf Club and Academy is easily identifiable, I'll just create our landmark around this location. So once you get the area on the map, I typically like to get the satellite imagery view shown here, and that'll show me what type of landmark or geofence I need to create. So with this not being particularly circular, I think I want to draw a polygonal landmark around this area. So just head up here to Landmarks, open up your landmark editor, and your landmark editor window will appear. All you need to do is name your landmark. And you can choose your icon, either a house, a building, a star, or no icon at all. Today I'll choose a building. If you're drawing a circular polygon, you can create what type of radius, how large or small you want that landmark to be, the transparency, and the color. So I'm going to draw a polygonal landmark, so I'll click the Draw Polygon button. The map will refresh, and the landmark editor actually gets minimized down here in your taskbar, so you have a full view of the map. So the first click on the map will display a pin. Your second click will draw a line in between those two pins, and your third click will actually start closing the landmark in. So if you need to adjust a landmark before saving it, all you need to do is just left click on one of these pins and hold it, and drag that pin over and get it to the area that you want to create that landmark. Once you have your landmark created and closed off, come down here to your taskbar, click on the landmark editor to reopen it, and then just click Save. The map will refresh, and your landmark's created. You can close out the landmark editor, and as long as you have an icon and the landmark name displayed, your landmark is created. So now whenever a vehicle either enters or leaves this landmark, you can generate a landmark report in our iTRAK Report Manager software that will display all the times that your vehicles enter and leave your specific landmarks. For that landmark report, it will be covered in the iTRAK Report Manager tutorial video on our YouTube page. Okay, so we know how to create landmarks. Let's create a geofence. So I'm just picking a specific area, and let's say we wanted to create a circular landmark around the forest preserve here. I'm sorry, geofence. So in order to get your geofence editor open, and you have the area on the map that you want to create that geofence for, head up to Applications, Geofence, and Geofence Editor. Your geofence editor window will appear. All you need to do is name it. You want to enable the geofence. And devices is where you pick the device or fleet that you want of which vehicles you want associated with the geofence. So I'm just going to choose fleet or any vehicle. The radius of the geofence, and I'm going to create that radius, the transparency, and the color. The alert message limit is how many, once the vehicle enters the geofences, how many maximum email notifications that you want. It's defaulted by 2. You can change that to 1. Notification is your email address. If you wanted multiple email addresses, you would just separate them by a semicolon. And then click Draw Circle. I'm going to draw a circular geofence. Once you click that, the map will refresh. Your geofence editor gets minimized down here in your taskbar. And wherever you click on the map is going to be the center of that circle. So we made that a little small. I'm going to open the geofence editor again. In order to change the radius of that geofence, you need to save it first. Make sure the geofence is created. And then come up to Applications, Geofence, open up your geofence editor. Choose your geofence. And I'm going to zoom out here a little bit. Change that radius. Save fence. And make sure that you want to update it. Yes. And that geofence looks like just the size I want it. So once we have that created, we can also schedule this geofence. In order to schedule the geofence, you'd want to schedule your geofence if, let's say, your employee is taking the company vehicle home at night, and you want to make sure that the vehicle is not being used off business hours. So if you wanted to make sure that the vehicle is not being used from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. off business hours, you can schedule that geofence. So if we come up to Applications again, select Geofence, and open the Geofence editor, choose our geofence, and we'll see here that the geofence is always on, meaning no matter what time of day, if a vehicle enters, since we have chosen fleet, if a vehicle enters or leaves this geofence, no matter what time of day, you'll get an email notification. So if we wanted to schedule that, we would uncheck Always On, click the Schedule button, and your geofence scheduler window opens up. All we would need to do here is provide a schedule name, We would choose our fleet. Our email address is already in there. It is enabled. And let's say we wanted all days, we wanted to make sure that the vehicle was not being used between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. and the entire weekend. So where you shade is where you're going to be notified. So if we hit the 0 hours to 6 a.m. and cover Monday through Friday, and then 6 p.m. Monday through Friday, and the entire weekend. Now when this vehicle is moved between the hours of 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. between Monday and Friday and the entire weekend, I'll get an email notification telling me what date and time that this happens. The vehicle or vehicles can enter and leave the geofence as many times they want between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Once I have the hours set, come down here to save, and my geofence is scheduled. This concludes this video of the difference between landmarks and geofences and how they're created. For other tutorial videos, again, head out to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/user/iTRAK Corporation.